Hey everyone, this is Pritham. In this video, we will see how to define, add, and assign a diaphragm in ETABS. Basically, we are going to do it in a G+3 building, right? Here we go to our what is diaphragm? What is a diaphragm in ETABS? A diaphragm is a one minute. I will increase this size. What is a diaphragm in ETABS? A diaphragm in ETABS is a constraint that links all the joints on a floor together, making them move as a single unit in the horizontal in-plane direction. This simulates how a real slab behaves, transferring the lateral loads like the earthquake or the wind to the vertical elements such as the frames and the shear walls. Means it transfer this earthquake and the wind load to this columns and the shear wall, right? This diaphragm ensures the structure act as an unified system during the analysis. Okay, that was the diaphragm. There are basically two types of the diaphragms, that is the rigid diaphragm and the semi-rigid diaphragm. We define it in as let's say defined diaphragm. Here you can see that when I click on add new diaphragm, we have two options of the rigidity, that is the rigid diaphragm and the semi-rigid diaphragm. There is a third also, that is the flexible diaphragm, but we are here for the ETABS, we will be discussing only for the rigid and semi-rigid. Okay, then we move to further, that is the types of diaphragm. That is the rigid diaphragm assumes infinite in-plane stiffness. All joints on the floor shares the same in-plane displacement, and no member deformation occurs. This is typically for the thick regular reinforced concrete slab. This is nothing but it assumes a infinite in-plane stiffness, right? All the joints on the floor share the same in-plane displacement, and no member deformation occurs. In it, no member deformation occurs. This is typically used for the thick and the regular reinforced concrete slab, that is the RCC slab, right? Then the second part is of the semi-rigid diaphragm. Here the models the diaphragm in the same in plane stiffness of the slab, allowing for a realistic deformation useful for the irregular plans, large openings, or when the flexibility is critical to the analysis. These are the two types of the diaphragms. In it, when it infinite in-plane stiffness is present, we assume infinite in-plane stiffness, and in the second semi-rigid model, the actual in-plane stiffness is been calculated. Here, in the rigid, we take the no member deformation occurs, and in the semi-rigid, the realistic deformation occurs. This is our diaphragm. This is the floor plan view, and this is the 3D view, how the diaphragm is actually been applied. Here is the steps for the define and assign a diaphragm. So basically, there are total 6 steps. We basically open the diaphragm form. First of all, I will show you how it is. This is the G+3 story building. I will go to define. In define, there is a option of your diaphragm. In diaphragm, this window will open of the defined diaphragm. This is the D1 is present by taken by the software itself. Means it is a default taken by the software. And to add a new diaphragm, we just click on add new diaphragm. And here the option of the diaphragm data is the diaphragm D2 as the rigidity D2. In rigidity, there are two options of the rigid and semi-rigid. As we discuss what is rigid and semi-rigid, and I will click on here rigid. We basically define our buildings are thick and regular reinforced concrete slabs are present. So I will provide for the rigid diaphragm, and just click on OK, and you can see that the D2 diaphragm has been defined, and just I will click on OK. And to see it whether it has been defined or not, I will go back to define. In define, go to diaphragms, define diaphragm. Here in D2, I will here you can see that D2 has been defined, and when I will click on modify show diaphragm, here you can see that the D2 name and the rigidity as the rigid has been set, and just click on OK. I will show you what are the steps now. I have explained all the steps of defining how it works. Now we will see the theory form of it. Open the diaphragm form. Go to the define menu and select the diaphragm. This opens the diaphragm form where you can add, modify, or delete the diaphragm definitions. Okay. Then second step is the add new diaphragm. Here click add new diaphragm name, let's say D1, and select the type as the rigid or semi-rigid. For most conventional slab, rigid is suitable. For conventional slab, it is rigid is suitable. For the flexible or the irregular slab, choose the semi-rigid. That I said, that there are two types of rigid slab and flexible slab. For the rigid slab, we provide the rigid diaphragm, and for the flexible slab, we provide the semi-rigid diaphragm. Okay. Then the third step is the select slab element. Till now, I have discussed how it has defined. Okay. Step 3 is the select the slab element. Use the select tool to pick the slab element shell for the floor where you want to assign the diaphragm. You can select by the floor or by the coordinate plane, XY plane for the typical floors. So what it means, and it is saying that where you want to basically we have to select the slab where you want to apply this diaphragm. So I will apply this diaphragm to the whole building. So I will go to select. In select, I will go to select. Just click on object type. In object type, I will click for the floors, and I will select whole floors. As you see here, all the floors have been selected, right? That was the step 3. Then fourth step is the assign the diaphragm. Go to assign menu, then select shell diaphragm. Choose the diaphragm you just created D1 and click apply. The this assigns the diaphragm constraint to the selected slab element. What it's saying that as we have selected this slab, then we go to the assign. In assign we go for the shell, then in shell we go for the diaphragms, right? Then it we have currently newly defined as the D2, and basically if there was first one D1 was present, we will apply for the D2 and just click on apply, and okay, you can see that the diaphragm has been applied here. As I was in the plan view, so it has been only acted here only. I will once again do it by refreshing it. You can also be getting it the values, or just click here and apply. You can see that the values have been applied here as the D2 diaphragm has been set here for the whole flooring. Okay, then we have assigned this diaphragm. Okay, then the fifth step is that repeat for the other floors. Means basically in the for the making this video short, I have assigned this diaphragm for the one story, all the stories the same diaphragm as the D2. But actually what we do that for the different stories, the different diaphragm values are different. Okay, means the diaphragm values are different for different stories. Means for the first story the diaphragm value is different. For the second story the diaphragm value is different. So we basically define this D1 D2 in the other format, as if it has G plus 3 story, right? Then we will define for this 3 diaphragms, 1 2 3 and 4 diaphragms we will define. For the roof also we will define the diaphragm. Okay, I will show you how it works. I will just go to define. In define, I will go for diaphragm. D1, D2 has been defined. Then I will add for the D3, same as the rigidity as the rigid. D4 I will assign and just click on OK. Then I will, this is the first floor, and in it I want to, first of all I have to select the floorings. So I will go for the coordinate specification. In it I will choose for the click joints in the XY plane. If I click on one joint, one floor, then whole flooring will be selected. Why it is not selecting? 1 minute. Go to assign, select, and here coordinate specification, here XY plane, and when I will click on here, why it is not selecting? I will just undeform this, and then I will try select coordinate specification, click joint in the XY. It's not selecting like this. So sometimes it may occur any problems. So I will just select by object type, and here for the story one only, for the flooring one only, we have to choose here. Here is option of the stories. In stories there is option here of the first floor, and just I will click on select, and you can see that all the beams and columns have been also been selected. I have to deselect them, so I will go to deselect. In deselect I will go for the object type. In object type I will select the beams and select deselect, and select column, and just select deselect, and you can see that only the flooring has been selected. And I will now go to assign. In assign I go to the shell. In shell we go to the diaphragms. In diaphragm we will now assign D1 diaphragm. Just I will click on D1, and here I will click on apply, and click on OK. You can see that D1 diaphragm has been applied here for the story one. As you can see that this value of D1 has been here as per this slabbing for the first floor. The D1 slab has been D1 diaphragm has been applied. Just click on OK, and you can see that how the D1 has been applied. And for the second story, D2 has been perfectly applied as it was there. Now for the third story, we will go once again to select. In select this coordinate specification, this is the simplest one, but what's the problem in my ETABS model that I am not able to understand that. Means it is sometimes it occurs the problem with the software. So I will go to select. In select, we go to stories. In stories, we go for the third floor. In third floor, I will click on select. Then I have to deselect once again the other material that likes the beam, deselect, and the column deselect. Only the slab will be present. And then I will go to assign. In assign, go to the shell. In shell, we will go to the diaphragms. In diaphragms, I will select now the D3 and just click on apply. And okay, you can see that the D3 has been applied. And once again, I will go for the story 4, that is the roof story. Go to stories in it, roof, select. Then I will go to deselect. In deselect, go to object type, choose the beams and the columns both, and choose deselect, and just go to assign. In assign, I will go to shell and click on diaphragm, and in it choose the D4 and just click on apply, and okay. And as you see that for each story, the diaphragms have been changed, means assigned differently by us. That is the for the roof story, that is the D4. For the third floor, that is D3. For second floor, that is D2. And for the first floor, that is D1. Like this way we assign the diaphragms. We see the further steps. That is the we have repeated this repeated for the other floors, how the diaphragms can be applied. After the assignment, check for error. After the assignment, check your model for any warning or the error related to the diaphragm assignment. Run the analysis to ensure that everything is set up correctly. So basically, we will now check the model with all this select all joint story assignment also, and here the tolerance value is 1 mm for the check, and just click on OK. And it will run the check, and you can see the warning as the model has been checked. No warning message was generated, means our model has been perfectly added with the diaphragms, right? Then that's it for the diaphragm, and we will see what are the key differences between the rigid and the semi-rigid diaphragm. Till now you have seen that how to apply this diaphragm to the your model. Now we will see further key differences, that is the rigid versus semi-rigid diaphragm. Rigid diaphragm, it has the no in-plane deformation. There is no in-plane deformation. Okay. Then the lateral loads are transferred entirely to the vertical elements at the edges. The accidental eccentricity is applied at the center of the mass for the seismic load. This was for the rigid. Now the semi-rigid, it's opposite. That is the semi-rigid diaphragms allow in-plane deformation. The lateral load are distributed based on the actual stiffness of the slab. Then the third one is the accidental eccentricity is applied at every node for the seismic load. Then where you use these diaphragms, rigid diaphragms are suitable for the thick regular slab with the where the deformation is negligible. Means where the deformation is negligible, we provide the thick we provide the rigid diaphragms. Okay. Then for the semi-rigid diaphragm are necessary for the slabs with the significant flexibility, large opening or the irregular geometry, and are often mandated by the building codes for such structure. It is provided for the large opening or irregular geometry and the significant flexibility. If the slab has the significant flexibility, we provide the semi-rigid diaphragms. These differences affects how the lateral loads are distributed to the frames and the walls, and the choice between the rigid and the semi-rigid diaphragms has a direct impact on the accuracy for the your structural analysis. You can see that this is the semi-rigid diaphragm, and this is the rigid diaphragms, that it is acting whole building, whole flooring, and this is the semi-rigid diaphragm. That's it for the today's video. We have seen that how to add and define and assign a diaphragm in ETABS. I'm currently working on a ETABS course, and as we were demanding for a course, that it is coming very shortly. That's it for the today's video. See you in the next video.